If even the thought of making a phone call makes you feel a little bit anxious, then hang out with me on this one because I want to give you some actionable advice that you can follow to ease some of that anxiety and gain confidence before you dial that phone. I know it might be different for everyone, but for me personally, phone anxiety has always come from a place of not knowing. See, you don't know what that person's going to be like on that phone call. You don't know what type of mood they're going to be in. You don't know what type of day they're having. You don't know how they're going to respond to what you have to say or what you have to offer. So you start making these nightmare situations up in your head that prevents you from dialing the phone. And the thing that I learned over time is to not use your energy focusing on the things that you can't control. Rather, redirect your energy on the things that you can control, which is how prepared you are for that phone call and the type of energy you bring to it. So the things I want to teach you today is how to create an environment that promotes preparedness and then also provide some ways that you can practice making a phone call. So to talk about how to prepare your environment, let's head to your desk. All right, so now that we're at your desk, you want to make sure that things are a little more clutter-free than this. Much better. Avoid having too many distractions around you so you can ultimately stay focused on the task at hand and the person on the other end of that phone. I always feel that the less within your little work bubble, the better. Now, there are some things that I suggest having close by so that you can be more prepared for that phone call. So let's talk about those. First, you want to grab a notebook. Now, on this notebook, not only do you want to take notes during the conversation, but have some things written on it beforehand. On the top of the notebook, write down your objective. An objective is your reason for making that phone call. It's your goal. Ask yourself what it is that you hope to gain from that phone conversation and what that purpose of the phone call is. Underneath that, write down any questions that you have to have answered in order to complete the objective. Once you have that written down, the next thing I suggest having is a quick phone introduction to get the ball rolling for when someone answers that phone call. It could be something super simple and to the point like, "Hi Marshall, my name is Stan. Do you have a moment?" Then when they confirm, you go right into your reason for calling. There are so many ways to start a phone call, but the most important thing is that you get cozy with it and you feel confident when you say it. So definitely practice a few times before making that phone call. And the last thing I suggest to be on your notebook is a quick script for when you need to leave a voicemail. This voicemail script can also be very simple, but it's good to be prepared because a voicemail has always been the thing that usually derails me. And something basic like, "Hi Marshall, my name is Stan. The reason I'm calling is because of ... Please contact me at ... Boom. Now, if you want more advice about how to leave a voicemail, subscribe to my channel because the next video I drop will dive into that topic a little further. So right now, your notebook is decked out with your objective, your must-have questions, an introduction, and a voicemail script. Now keep that in front of you so that you can take notes during the conversation. If you're someone who likes using your laptop or tablet to take notes, I actually advise against that until you're more comfortable on the phone. A computer tends to have a mind of its own, and it can be incredibly stressful if the application you're using to take notes freezes, lags, or even restarts. You can always add your notes to your computer afterwards, but stick with the notebook because it's super reliable and it actually gives you a way to fidget while on the phone call. Despite not being something that I suggest for taking notes, I do think that having a computer in front of you is very helpful so that you can reference the individual that you're having a conversation with. Have a separate tab for each thing that you have up about them, whether it's their website or social media page. Are you looking up Taylor Swift? Never mind, that is none of my business. Having those pages up can be incredibly helpful so that you can reference them during the conversation and ask well-informed questions. Also, if they start asking questions about your web presence, you can quickly move over to your website and guide them through it over the phone. The last thing that I suggest to have on your desk is, well, a phone. Make sure to have headphones plugged into it so that you can be hands-free during the conversation and test out those headphones with a friend really quick before that phone call. Nothing is more stressful than having someone not being able to hear you during that phone conversation. So make sure that you test out those headphones, especially if you haven't used them for a while. All right, so we just created an environment that promotes preparedness for a phone call. The next thing we want to do is practice. Now, for me, when I first started, one of the hardest things was just dialing, because that's initiated the whole process. So one of the things that I recommend doing, and I used to do this a lot, is to call an automated voicemail for any retail store. Now, I used to dial movie phone, but that's not a thing anymore. What I'm doing right now is calling just a Target, and this just gets you used to dialing.
The Pleasant Prairie Target store. We are now hiring. If you're interested in joining our...
All right, so the cool thing about that is that the barrier there is not very hard to jump over, because you know no one's actually going to answer that phone. So to level up this amount of practice, what you want to do is call a smaller retail store, which I have here, that you know someone will pick up. And what I suggest doing is just asking their store hours and then thanking them and then hanging up. So let's do this.
Woodfield Foot Locker and House of Hoops. This is how may I help you?
Yes, I was just wondering what your store hours were today.
We close at 9.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Cool. Have a good one.
You too. Now, that's something that I used to do all the time, and it's very helpful so that you can get over those roadblocks in your mind and actually dial the phone. I hope these tips have been helpful for you, because honestly, I know where you're coming from. And if you want to see more things like this, then definitely be sure to subscribe to my channel. Until then, let's hang out again soon, yes? Cool. All right. I can do it. I can do this. I can do it. It's just Taylor Swift. She's just a person. I can call her. I can do this. I can't do it. But I just want to know about one song. That's it. Come on. All right.